Good day and welcome back to another DB Legends video. In this video we're going to be taking a look at half-corrupted Fusion Zamasu and basically how good he looks after his Zenkai. So half-corrupted Fusion Zamasu is the second powerful opponent character, the first realm of the gods or god key character to be Zenkai this celebration. I think for him, strictly speaking as a unit, he has quite a few teams he can be on. Powerful opponent, I think, is definitely one with all the latest updates. I think future will get one or two more boosts this celebration, so I definitely think that's viable for him there. And I think as well, God Key is always kind of a viable team as well. Realistically, looking at Zamasu, I think his Zenkai has achieved what was required, bringing him up into a really competitive space. But I do think as well, you have to also accept that his kit overall beforehand was pretty good and quite conducive to like overall upgrades and just in general pretty good stuff. Especially with his like plat, his own private plat. I think he especially was in a good space overall. So yeah, we'll talk about him a little bit, show you some PvP gameplay. I've been using him quite a bit on a powerful opponent's team with Broly, the other Zenkai, and firstly, I really like using the two of them. They both feel a little bit similar in a way, which I'll talk about, but yeah, I definitely do like using Zamasu, especially considering Zamasu is, to a lesser extent a Rising Rush Eater, and that does help. But yeah, let's talk about Zamasu. So firstly, let's talk about the Zenkai, because I think the Zenkai is very important, and just talking about his overall kits and everything. So obviously, starting the fight, he's not the craziest unit. Good damage, good Q recovery, standard damage reduction and everything. But one of his big things is when he's defeated. So when he's defeated, he increases ally damage inflicted by 30%, which is very big. He shortens their substitution counts, and he inflicts all enemies with a bunch of downgrades. Art Squad draw speed down, health restoration down, substitution cost up, and hits them all with a poison. So right away, he still has usability in the worst case as a Rising Rush / super attack eater, a guy who can just be sent out to kind of take damage, be defeated, and then obviously boost the rest of your team. Then he does also have cover change, which is helpful against strike arts, which is always good. He has a little bit of health restoration whenever he uses a strike or blast card, which is good. And this is doubled down upon by his plat, but we'll talk about that a little bit just now. He builds up. So this is where I kind of say he's a little bit similar to Broly. So he builds up based on a lot of stuff. So for example, plus 20% damage inflicted every time he uses a strike or blast card. This, similar to Broly, how Broly gains a huge buff when he defeats his first enemy. This is very big. Slowly ramping him up, really kind of escalating that damage. He then also has a similar mechanic in the form of the Vanishing Gauge. So Broly, whenever someone gets switched in, he restores his Vanishing Gauge. The same is the case for, obviously, good old Zamasu. The way he's really interesting is that when he defeats an enemy, he destroys all of their cards. So he really does, if you manage to get a defeat, like a knockout with him, he really does disrupt a lot of their flow. Now his two new abilities, he's got plus 50% damage inflicted when he draws a strike card, when he enters the battlefield, which is very big. This is all really, really huge. And this is kind of where I talk about again, him being able to be switched in, deal some big damage and switch back out, which is very big. He has that increase to crit rate timer for 3-second counts, which is really good. And also he has nullification of enemy special actions every time he uses a strike card after he enters the battlefield, which is good. He has restoration of damage received after an enemy attack is over, of up to 20% of his health, which is big. And then again, we talk about his plat, which kind of doubles up on this aspect of him. And finally, he's got downgrades to the enemy's crit rate and special arts and move costs. If they perform Vanishing Step while he's on the battlefield, their ki goes down, their special arts are sealed, and he reduces their Dragon Balls, giving him a lot of good ki control. When it comes to his equips, you'll see that I'm currently running some pretty standard ones. I think overall he's got some good equips, but obviously his unique equip is very big for him. A 20% damage inflicted buff is quite a good equip, but it's also the increase to his healing factor, giving him 2 sets of heals below certain health thresholds that will enable him to really benefit from these abilities. Realistically, it's just very, very crucial aspects of him, and it really changes how he looks. Beyond his unique equip, which obviously you should run, there are a ton of good equips for him. Outside of like the standard Jiren equip and just raw strike attack, which is always helpful, you have the Divine Power one, which is Fusion Warrior in red, giving him extra health, extra ultimate damage, extra strike attack, all very good. And honestly, even just having like extra strike or extra health on him is always good, because a lot of his heals are health based. So 20% of health, 30% of health, 20% of health, 5% of health, giving him a lot of health. And remember, they all activate below certain health thresholds. They all kick in after attacks or below health thresholds or after combos or when he attacks. Gives him a lot of ways to heal up. So giving him a lot of health and a lot of strike arts is probably more preferable than giving him like defense. If you can give him a whole chunk of health and just a whole bunch of strike attack, probably pretty much following what you should need to be doing. His Platinum equip will take care of the rest. Add in another layer of healing for him and really make him look really, really good. I think for me, he's really nice. One thing I like a lot about him is his green card. His green card is just one of those things that is one of those great abilities to have. Much like Goku and Bardock, much like purple UI Goku, whenever you or the green SS4 tag units, whenever you've got a green card that can set you up into combo and also provide you with ki, is really, really good. So he's going to give himself ki, set up into combo, and also nullify unfavorable element factors. If it made him draw a card as well, it'd probably be one of the most OP green cards in the game. But right now it's still very, very good. So I think when you look at units like Zamasu, and when you look at him in general, I think you kind of need to almost like appreciate or get used to using him as this, how can I say, emergency situation unit. He's really good when I throw him in to either eat an attack. He eats the attack, comes out, able to do a lot of damage in return. Or if I switch him in as an emergency situation for eating a Rising Rush. Or if I switch him in just to kind of take pressure off my other units, heal up a little bit, he can provide some good utility. Just a very good unit. And he can do damage. I mean, you're going to see here, in this fight, he can do some good damage. I don't think it's Broly levels of damage. Like, I think once Broly fires off his super attack and everything, I don't think Zamasu can compete from that perspective in terms of raw damage. But I do think that, I would have to say, ultimately, I think Zamasu is pretty top tier. He's really solid, his teams are good. He's got quite a few Zenkai boosts on both teams. God Ki, powerful opponent. So there's a lot that makes him tick over. Future, I think he's also got some good Zenkai boosts as well. So he's definitely in a good spot, and he always had a nice plat. He's got so many layers of healing now. I think he'll be a decent addition for quite a while, especially considering Future hasn't received a huge number of buffs this year. So although powerful opponent has, and he definitely benefits from that with a strong powerful opponent team right now, he is also, I think, in a good space, because I think like I say, I think future Saga will get buffs as well, and that'll keep him kind of jostling around with relevant unit to relevant unit, keeping himself kind of upbeat, usable, and just in general pretty good. So yeah, I think ultimately really good stuff. A really fun, interesting unit for me. But yeah, that's pretty much gonna be it for me. Honestly, not too much to say. I think Zamasu's just really well made, a really good unit, and yeah, I've really enjoyed using him. Let me know how you guys have found him, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Till then, take care, stay safe, and thanks for watching. Bye.